Let me check my volume first off. That feels more right. And check my Audible. Sure am. All right, cool. So what are we working on? We're working on In Command. Is this really the 25th session? Jeez. Converting Descent into Avernus, our 8th playtest session. We're currently working on adventure design for 3rd rank or 9th level characters in the Descent into Avernus campaign. I need to drop a note on Twitter. Hey, if you check the description down below, you can obviously you can like and subscribe, which I would greatly appreciate. There's also my Twitter feed where I post illustrations, maps, as well as just letting you know when I'm running around being a goofball like this. I'm gonna hit some Discord channels real quick just to spread the word, because it looks like almost all my foot traffic to date is coming from Twitter and Discord channels like Trent Monk and Dungeoneer Pack and Indestructible Designosphere and Rich Mary, Zipperon, DMsGuild, DTRPG. Did I say Trent Monk already? He's worth talking about twice. What a great guy. Fry Minis and the D&D homepage, or I guess Discord Central, whatever it is you're gonna call it. Anyway, we're building stuff today, so I only have maybe like an hour or so before I'm gonna jump further into the abyss myself at the weekend. I've got a playtest tomorrow morning, like early here in the AM in Seattle. So we're going to work on assets loading into Roll20, and this is an extension from the last session, which is now on the playlist, and that was from last night. We built out just grabbing, spoiler alerts, any of my playtesters, like it really matters. Let's see, we got the Devil's Skillet, which is a little maze that you lead into. It's got undead hill giants and catapults and ballistas that are mounted to this here to create trouble for the characters here in vehicles to try to drive through Devil's Skillets. Each square here is 50 feet. These trucks can move 40 miles per hour, so that's it's 100 feet per movement. So using salt marsh rules, you can turn like this once per move. 1, 2, 3. That's too far, so that'd be 2. And then you can turn again. 1, 2. And then you just go straight. 1, 2. You've got your object interaction, you've got your standard action, and you've got your bonus action to move up to 3 times. You could always go like start your turn. You go 1, and then you can turn, and that goes 2. There you go. And then the next round you can go like 1, turn, 2. There you go. You can do, and at this range, you can't really see front and back, and it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like it doesn't matter which direction your character is facing in D&D combat. When you zoom down to the 5-foot scale and like you're looking at a boat, like a boat, it makes sense that you want to check direction and stuff. But when you scale out, when you scale it to the point where it's just a square, there is no distinguishing form, then it just becomes ubiquitous and it doesn't really matter. So that's something that we've been fiddling with in the test to see, like how important is it actually to have facing with these things at this scale. And the answer seems to be pretty nominal. On top of that, at this scale, you can't really tell which direction they're facing anyway. So if you can't even tell what direction they're facing, that facing can't really actually matter that much. And when you zoom in closer at when you do we call it a breach map. And it's when you zoom in. Probably change the name. Maybe we'll just call it I don't know what we would call it. But like if you guys are coming at each other, then like, why did you switch, you janky thing? Why isn't it's being goofy. Yeah, it ain't let me flip it. Anyway, whatever, dude. I didn't have a real point to that. Oh, that's what it was. When we had our original playtests, like when you're in this 50-foot square, like this is the 50-foot square. Each one of these squares is 50 feet, right? And then, but if you get adjacent to each other, like here, then the trucks drop into this 50-foot square, or 10-5-foot square by 10-5-foot square. And at this point, facing actually does become important. But again, you can't leave, like when you're doing these maps, you're stuck inside this map with your foe until you get to the edge of the screen or to the edge of the square, and then you do as an action, like you get your bonus, you get your object interaction, your action, your bonus action. Use one of your drive moves as an opposed driving check, and if you succeed the check, you can escape that square with them. So then you drop out to this 50-foot area, and then you can start driving away from them 5, 10, 50 feet, 100 feet, and then once you these things take place over here, and they're supposed to be taking place over here in this map. Hold on, I'm trying to get my legs underneath me here, so I only have like an hour or so I need to get this stuff off my chest so that I can start hammering through the actual content that I want to work on, because I am going to be getting up early tomorrow. So like this scale, when you're able to move out of that square, now you're in this zone here, right? You start off in as middle of the map as you can, as determined by the DM. So you succeeded your drive check to scale out, so that pops you to here, and then you got 1, 2 movement. Like if that was one movement to get to, I'm poking the screen like you can see it. It took one move to get to the edge of the screen. It took another move to escape the zone. And if you fail the driving check, then you don't escape the zone. That's a wasted action. So there's action economy that goes on there, risk reward. But assuming that you succeed that check on your second action, you end up here on the larger map, and then you got your third move, and that's where you end your turn. Your enemy can then, if they wanted to keep you, they can go one move. Second move is to close distance, and if they fail the check, they can keep making checks against zooming in, and they're wasting their movement. Meanwhile, they're stuck at this 50-foot range until they do. So assuming that they do succeed, then you can just, it doesn't really matter which direction they face. You can just drop these trucks, and like this is the truck that you're trying to get up on. Like that's their truck there, so you put it here. This is your truck here. You're here. You moved up 1, 2 spaces. You use your driving check, and if you succeed, that's an action. And now you got 1, 2, 3. That's only 15 feet. You can move 100 feet in a round, which means you can move 2 of these squares, right? But when you enter this zone, it's like, well, here you go 15 feet, and then you can ram him, right? I mean, it'll damage yourself because he's bigger, but you can still do it if you want to. But more importantly, all your characters can hippity hop from to that. Right, because you've got your object interaction, you've got your action, you've got your bonus action, and then the normal 5-foot square, you've got your character's normal movement, right, on top of that. So, your driver goes to 15 feet to hit the back of the truck, and now your character takes a 5-foot step off the truck onto their truck, pulls out his BFing sword, and just starts, cleaving souls and punching them off. Like if you guys are driving 40 miles per hour, it's 100. Your move speed is 100. So like if you punch this guy off using the Avernus rules, he becomes street pizza as he streaks off the screen. Takes 100 feet of movement divided by 10. That's 10d6. So all you gotta do is kick this guy off the moving truck, and he's gonna take 10d6 damage. Save for half, but that's gonna kill just like most people. So like these things, driving is dangerous at really low levels. Like you are street pizza if these things are moving fast and you don't keep safe. That is something that is another issue I have with WOTC game design, that they have you get on these things at 5th level when you probably have around 30 hit points, and yet when you get pushed off, you take 10d6 falling damage, save for half, which probably means you're going to maybe take 30 points of damage. Like, just get punted off. A, you're going to take the weapon damage, and B, if it's like a maneuver or something that punts you, or even just an Eldritch Blast that just repels you off these things. Like, Eldritch Blast is like auto kill when these things are moving fast. That actually kind of makes, that's actually a really, this is why playtesting is important, friends, because that you find little interactions like that, and we hadn't. I've got NPCs that have Eldritch Blast, since I haven't actually repelled anybody off of a truck yet. But like you can, so the mounted stations here for these mounted guns, they offer partial cover. The helm that you sit in, that offers 3/4 cover. So I would think that if you're holding on to a mounted weapon, or if you're here and you're operating the machinery for the siege wrecking ball, that's what the SW is. It's a 5x10 space, but it's a melee weapon with a 15-foot reach. So as soon as this truck starts moving around inside here, if they were holding an action, they could swing the wrecking ball and hit your truck, and it does like D6 times 10 damage, which is just brutal damage. These trucks take anywhere from 30 to 200 hit points typically. So that hurts a lot. That's gonna knock your characters down fast. So I'm thinking you can't push somebody, like you can't just knock somebody off of a truck if they're in a station that's providing them partial cover. That seems like they just they're like sitting in the seat. So if they get pushed, they just get pushed and plump. They just get pushed against the side of the turret, right? So that seems logical to me. I'm gonna put that past the rest of the team. But that is something, like, this is the stuff that we have to review and we have to create answers for. And 806 playtest. So, questions. E-blast equals road pizza. Partial cover equals don't get moved. Like seriously, you guys are 5th level. You just pop. Like at 5th level, and then at 11th level, when you're running around these things, that's 3 Eldritch Blast per round. It has 100-foot range. It's got 2 square range. That's huge. Like, you can just auto punt people off of a truck and just immediately kill them. That is, I don't know if Wizards of the Coast was thinking about that, or like Thunder Wave, you know? And it's easy to punch up at the guy that leads the industry, right? WC is by far the industry leader, but at the same time, it didn't take very long for me to discover that Eldritch Blast thing with their falling damage at high speeds, that's super dangerous. Like, that makes characters incredibly disposable. All the way, it takes like around level 8 or 9 for you to be able to just walk that stuff off. And walking it off may be a problem, because if you get Eldritch Blast for your D10 plus Caw, then get punted onto the street for your probably 25, 30 damage, then you can get rolled over by another truck that's up behind, which is going to be another 3d10 damage. So you could be taking 50 damage one round just from a casual Eldritch Blast push. So that is we gotta protect our boys. We gotta protect our demons. They're not really boys. They're demons. Red caps maybe. Hobgoblins, damn souls. Anyway, that's the mess that we're dealing with. So we're dealing with that. So facing matters when you get down to this scale about what direction are people facing. That's relevant. But when you scale back out to this 50-foot, I don't think it's really relevant anymore. So then that takes us to the encounters we were talking about, Devil's Skillet. And so let's go back to the skillet. That's where we were. So your cars come through here. There's catapults, ballistas, and undead hill giants. There's 2 paths that you can go, and if you zoom in here, the characters can sense the theme. There's a bunch of specter giants over this direction, but if you go this way, there's a bunch of hell wasps. So, and hell wasps can fly, of course, and these are shoddily drawn mesas, and these are ramps that lead up onto the mesa, so you can get like catapult equipment and these shambling dudes or your trucks up on these things, but then you can just drive off. They're 50 feet up, so you can just drive off and take 5d6 damage, land, and then keep going if you want to. That's if you have the ability, and we'll see if somebody has any spells that might allow this. We may be able to jump or fly from one mesa to the next for maneuverability. I made sure that there was plenty of ramps jumping up and off of these things, so the team could play around with it if they want to. But at some point, they leave the skillet. If they go this way, they go to the Hell Wasps. If they go this way, they go to the Hill Crotch Maul, the Hill Giant God, whatever his name is. Anyway, here's the Hell Wasps. We talked about this last night. This is 100 feet by 100 feet. So on the 50-foot scale, it's 1, 2, 100 feet, 1, 2, 100 feet, right? So that this wasp nest fits in this 2 by 2 circle. And it's got these, I don't know what word you'd want to use. It's some sort of secreted tether effect that links the floating wasp nest to these 50-foot by 50-foot roly-polies that basically have this gunk stuck to them, so they're dragging the wasp across the flatlands of hell. And the Hell Wasps inside are CR5, which makes them second ranked, size large creatures. The 5-foot scale map, we borrowed this on Etsy last night as our sample. I showed off. Check the last thing for this guy. This guy designs 3D minis, and this is a 5-foot square that this thing would fit inside of. So I'm using it as a Hell Wasp so that it fits inside of a 2-inch square space, like 60 millimeters, I guess would be the size. But when you scale out to the 50-foot scale, you can fit in 50 feet. If we really scale out, zoom over, come back in over here. There we go. Have our breach maps over here. If you are a size large, whatever, as you can see, you can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can fit 25 large size creatures inside of a 50-foot map. So that means at this 50-foot scale, when the team is running across the Hell Wasp, this Hell Wasp square, that's actually a swarm of 25 horse-sized Hell Wasps. So if your team can take control of this nest, then they have flying mounted creatures that'll help them in their battle against Zariel and the Blood Wars. Plus they'll have the 50-foot roly-polies, which are roly-polies, so they can deal just ridiculous amounts of damage on any, just like the Infernal War Machines. A 3x3 truck does 3d10 damage. A 4x4 truck does 4d10 damage if your two sizes smaller. So like the 4d4 truck, the gargantuan sized truck can do 4 10-sided dice of damage against you if you're large or smaller. If you're huge or gargantuan, it can shove or ram you and also do damage. But being ramming at that scale, you could also take damage as well, as per the Descent into Avernus appendix rules. But having said that, the roly-poly is a 50-foot by 50-foot creature. So when it rolls over things, I mean, it's a roly-poly. It can just roll into a ball and then start rolling, literally. It can then roll, and it would be able to do 10d10 damage against anything that it rolls over. That's an 8x8 or smaller space. So these things are just incredibly dangerous. That's awesome. What a great challenge for 9th level characters to be smacking them with 50-foot roly-polies that does 50 damage a pop. These dudes are only rolling around with between 75 and 110 hit points. So that's man, that hurts a lot. And that's really exciting because it's like you got to really kick these guys around. They have to figure out how to avoid the roly-polies, avoid the swarm of wasps that are flying and just descend on their trucks and rain hell on them with their sword-long stingers on their tail. But yeah, if you can get through all that, then you can actually get inside of the hive itself and the nest. Climb up. Lulu, the elephant, Dumbo, is in the storyline gets captured and dragged away here and isn't immediately killed for some reason. So you have the chance to rescue her MacGuffin style. And then there's the queen, the wasp queen. That's gargantuan. And and she's got a 5 intelligence, like she's an intelligent queen animal thing. So if you can defeat her like if you destroy all her troops, so obstacle cleared, but you're losing the power of it. If you can keep the troops alive, like not kill all the wasps, not kill all the roly-polies, get inside there and convince the queen to be on your side, then you have this floating wasp fortress and the roly-polies and the flying hell wasps for you to start kicking some severe ass. So it then becomes an issue of, well, how would you get that wasp on your side? Well, a druid could do it. They're technically fiends, so that means like if you speak infernal, you may be. I mean, I don't think they really speak, but I think a druid could get away with it. Like as a DM, I would rule that you could get away with it. So, but the alternative is what we're working on right now, which is I can never remember the name of this dude. Let me see. Who is it? Who is it? Let's see. Koschichi. Cross-Chichi-Maw. Chichi. If anyone knows how to pronounce that, God bless you. Kachichi. The weapon is Madalock. Warhammer Legendary. Madalock the Frost Father is an ancient hammer fashioned by Thrym, god of frost giants. The favored weapon of the demon lord Cross-Chichi. Madalock is a frigid to touch and wreathed in mists. You are immune to cold damage while holding a block, and whenever it deals damage to a creature, the hammer radiates a burst of intense cold in a 30-foot radius sphere. Each creature in that area takes legendary weapon, 3d6 cold damage. It is a 30-foot area of effect, so I mean that adds up over time. If you're proficient, you can allow you to add your proficiency bonus to the attack roll for any attack you make with it. It's touched. Yeah, okay. It says it's a magic weapon. It also doesn't have any bonuses to hit or damage, so we're just going to assume. Fair weapon, demon lord is frigid to touch. You're going to kill damage. You're going to hit it whenever it deals damage to a creature. It radiates a burst of intense cold. When you deal damage to the creature, so like we're going to have to assume it doesn't list that as a magic item specifically. I mean, it says it's a magic item and that's a legendary magic item, but it like doesn't have any specific bonuses, nor does it say that it deals magical damage. I'm not sure if that language is necessary, but the bonus is certainly necessary if it's actually going to deal bonus to hit damage as a magic weapon. So we'll see how that crap pans out. But that's okay. So this guy, he had a super hammer. The enemy is my friend. But does that hold true for friend? For fiends, got it. Oh, that's very clever. When the character arrives at this location, we paraphrase, a dark chasm gapes between the grumbling volcanoes that spew lava and smoke into the hateful sky. The air trembles with the bellowing of some monstrous creature in the dark depths of the chasm. The demon lord Crotchy-Choch is a squat hill giant with short bandy legs and a grossly shapen head. You don't have to make fun of the guy. Frost giant who forsake their gods. Frost giants that forsake their gods and turn to demon worship can summon Cross-Chichi with a bloody offering left on altars of hewn ice. Cool. If the demon lord chooses to answer the giant's call, he hunts and fights alongside them for a time, inflicting the frost giants with savage madness and bloodlust before disappearing back into the abyss. Cross-Chichi's favorite weapon is a warhammer forged by the frost giant Thrym. On his most recent visit to Hell, Cross-Chok was defeated by Zariel, who took his hammer and chained him to the bottom of the chasm, knowing that killing him would simply cause him to reform in his icy layer of the abyss. Without block, his immunity to cold damage becomes resistance to cold damage, so shackled by ever-tightening magical chains that prevent him from casting spells. Where it squats in a 10-foot deep, 80-foot diameter pool of black tar in a cavern at the bottom of a chasm. His hands chained behind him, his unholy scroms and vile abithibs can be heard for miles. Characters who attempt to communicate with the demon lord are met with guttural cries of anguish and frustration, and sporadic moments of lassudity. Cross-Chok glares at the characters and bellows, "Free me! Bring me my hammer!" in giant first, and then abyssal, but when you get bored yelling at stuff, he can just use telepathy. So that's cool, I guess. Like, if you don't speak, I really prefer speaking English, but since you don't, I guess I'll just use my amazing mental powers to transmit exactly what into your mind with zero inaccuracy. But whatever, we'll shout in giant first, because everyone knows giants. Oh, they didn't get giant. I'm just going to flip through my different languages until I decide I should just use telepathy. Come on, guys! You can have, like, images of a giant hammer in people's heads while they're descending down into the chasm or some stupid crap like that. Like, cereal. I mean, I'm being overly critical again, because this is, like, really, like, this is, like... It's like if you're watching a movie about vampires, and to get the point across about how melancholy a vampire is, he stares longingly into his reflection. If that didn't immediately cause a logic break in your brain, then you probably don't catch any of this stuff. But if you go like, wait a second, did you say he looks forlornly at his reflection? And you're like, but he's a vampire? Aha! Now we're on the same page. Soup, waiter, try my soup. What's wrong with this? Just try the soup. Say, is there something wrong with the soup? Just try it. Okay, fine, I'll try it. Where's the spoon? Aha! Why don't you just say, hey, I need a spoon? Anyway, we can all be faulted in this world. It's just, I had a reference in one of the DMs that's playtesting my adventure, pointed out, it's like, hey, you talk about this guy being trapped somewhere, but I don't see where he's trapped. Can you spell that out for me a little bit better? Like, that's like, there's a lot of content. Things are going to get missed. I get it, but anyway. That's me being overly critical and then feeling bad about being overly critical and then being afraid that someday someone's going to be mean and harsh at me when I'm a huge multi-million-dollar corporation. I'll probably earn it. I probably already have. So, okay, great. Chasm. Chasm descends to a depth of 500 feet. That's 10 50-foot squares, by the way. Although there are abundant handholds and footholds, the route to the bottom is steep and treacherous. Creatures that can't fly have to make checks. Okay, great. So I'm thinking like I should be in Photoshop right now. And let's turn off my welcome page. Let's make sure my bits are bought. Stash that away. Let's see what the rest of this thing says. Chasm descends 500 feet. Check fails by 5 or less. The character make no progress to turn. Prison guards. Attack intruders, the hounds pounce. Azor keys, chuck, chains tight at all times. Mazur. A chain devil named Nazar. Okay, I'm cool with that. Let's do. Here, and it leads to cavern like this. Where the dude's chained to. Again, these are 50. This is 50-foot scale. The realm of Tar. And since we're operating at the 50-foot scale, so this is like a demon prince, right? So using this system, like in the Eberron Space Pirate campaign that I had ran, I forgot the demon's name, but there was a Catholic or something. I don't know. But the plot was that. Ciri, the destroyed, the Eberron nation that got blown up because of the where am I? There we go. That got blown up because of the mourning, right? The way that it's working out is the way that the campaign was going is that that whole military, like the Ciri military force, all of it was warlocks to this demon prince, and the demon prince basically detonated the nation by cashing in all of his warlocks at once to harvest their souls. This is also this harvester of souls. This demon prince was also supplying recycled warlock souls to be put into Warforged. That's how Cyric was able to create Warforged in the first place, is because their sacrifices would end up being inside Warforged bodies, and the last sacrifice that a warlock of, I think it was Catholic, would make was themselves, so that they would be able to join the machine. And so when the team, their quest was to awaken and free and unify the Warforged into a new nation, now that they know that why they were Warforged in the first place, and that it was a raw deal to bargain with a demon in the first place. So once they sussed all of that out, it was pretty easy to get them to convert over. But they had to shut down Catholic, which means that they had to gate into his native plane and kill him there, so that he would actually be dead. Like, if you kill a demon anywhere other than their home world, they just get booted back to their home world and they're fine. So you can't really kill them unless you can hunt them down in their home and kill them in their bed. So when they did, it's a demon prince, and we had already ran that the Demon Waste campaign with the Mile Tall Titan Warlock, Warforged fighting the Council of Eight. They're Rakshasas, and they were a mile tall. So we have pretty much set precedents in our Eberron campaign that hold on, I think my chair's too low. We set precedents in our Eberron campaign, basically that demon lords are a mile tall, and so Celestials and Titans, they're all a mile tall as well. So we've already had this functioning mile tall scale aesthetic inside of our game for the past 4 or 5 years. I'm just now finally codifying it with the system. Like, I didn't realize how easily it would be to codify it, otherwise we would have done it a few years ago. But everything in its due time. So I'm going to be having dinner here soon, so I'm going to stay active until my gal pings me to come pick me up, and then I'll bounce out of here. So I might have a sudden cut, and I apologize for that. Like, subscribe. Check out my books on the DMsGuild. All my stuff is always 100% preview, so you can run an entire campaign with all my books, and at the end of your 20th level campaign, if you're like, yeah, actually this stuff was really cool, then you can come back and buy it. If you just want to support the artwork that I made in there, or all the time and the effort and the testing and the play that we have to put this stuff out, just go ahead and buy them. We appreciate it. A lot of it's pay what you want. Again, you only, I mean, you can read all of it and then just decide to walk away with the books. That was a thing. Or like you could just buy like Knights and Tricksters, which is like $5. Or if you want to buy the whole bundle, it's like 36% off. So it's like $30 worth of stuff for like $18, something like that. So it's this'll have similar content. Like if you check out that bundle, you can see that there's the core mechanics, and then there's Knights and Tricksters, spell point warlocks, universal spell points, and high magic, the revised color mana spell list, as well as elemental key. These are all spin-off books, and if you're familiar with my stream, you know that I've got like the Dimir Shadow Monk that's being built, and the Boros Sun Soul Monk, that we have the Spell Point Sorcerer that's about 75% done. That we're working on Spell Point Artificer, and that will eventually convert all like the Kinsei and all the other official subclasses of monks into half casters, like. And then there's the Martial Powers Project on Monday. Like when I put out a book, it's because I have so many. I don't put out a book just to put out a book. I put out a book because it's part of a larger theme of stuff that you can do. So like the Theurgy book that I put out, that's also free to view. Just check out all the other books I have in my link, and that's ability check casting, like 1/8 CR. Villagers that get the Book of the Dead, and Rusas Klaktos screws up a 9th level spell, and now there's a demon crushing the city. That's your next adventure hook. But at the same time, characters can also just spend ridiculous amounts of money and ridiculous amounts of time to cast spells for free. But it's more like it takes like 24 hours for you to cast a 9th level spell, but you get a 9th level spell once per day anyway. So it's like you're not really gaining anything from this. It just has a lot of depth narratively. But I can also use that book. I used it in the Eberron adventure that we're using, because like the final ritual is built out of Theurgy, and there's a number of different, like I can do like mana ports. I can do ley line stuff. There's a lot of different things I can do with that book. It just has to come back around in rotation. So when I put out a book, it's because there's other things I can do with it. Even Nature's Ally, which is probably the most self-contained product that I've put out so far. It's a Strixhaven dual class for Wizard and Druid, being a more powerful conjurer. But even that is just a gateway into doing more Strix class stuff, or doing more combined things, which can work here within Command. Like you can use Nature's Ally within Command and be able to control a plethora of different types of creatures. So and you can awaken all of them so they can follow your commands easily. That's what I like the most about Nature's Ally, is waking people up and like making true friends out of animals. I like that about it. But yeah, the whole point there was that I'm putting out this book. It'll be 100% preview for you just to be able to play through it. But we've got this vehicle thing that we're doing. We'll be converting Spelljammer into the vehicle combat rules here when it publishes in another week or two here live. And so that folds into Spelljammer, which folds into the Eberron Space Opera campaign that I've been running for the past 10 years, which folds into the Ravnica Hexcrawl campaign and Undercity RNG system that I have. All these things can all just be combined together to build little campaign toolkits. That's what we're doing here. Anyway, I'm rambling like hell. The point is that the giant is going to be at 50 feet. Oh yeah, that was the point. When they actually got to Catholic, he's like the size of Dormammu from the first Doctor Strange movie. He's like a mile tall, and they've got these carrier ships that are like 200 feet long, and they got all these little star flitters that are like the size like size huge or size large, smaller. And they've just got a shitload of them that they're attacking against this giant mile tall demon. Is like swatting down carrier ships and stuff, and it was cool. They ended up dropping a magic bomb on him that took out his entire realm. But it was like Independence Day, like when they dropped the nuke and they walked away. It's kind of like that. So the point of that is that I have in my campaigns I have a precedence to have like greater demons, gods, high CR stuff in general, just be ridiculously large in scale. So long story short, too late. There you go. That was the point of all that. I had a point, right? And that was that point. Oh, that's right. That's right. So this is apparently a lesser god. I'm walking away from my own personal preference of 1 mile tall demons. I guess the larger, the bigger deal of a demon that you are, the larger scale you can eat up. Like you're at the 5 foot scale at low CR. Second rank could be at the 50-foot scale. Third rank could be at the 500-foot scale. Man, that puts fourth rank at the 1 mile scale, which would put fifth rank at the 10 mile scale. That's a bit big. Maybe we go. Fifth rank is a mile. Fourth rank is 500 feet. Third rank is 50 feet. Second rank is there you go. Second rank is 5 by 5 or larger, like 5 by 5 to 10 by 10, and then first rank is 5 foot square scale. So we could do it that way. Like I could build an independent TTRPG that scales creatures like that, and it'd be more like a Gundam game where you're building constructs or summoning things to be able to scale up against your foes, and you can be scaling in and out with a level of challenge. So thoughts. I'm just having thoughts right now. So down here, I built this square as a just as a footprint for the size of the map, because when I export this, I'll get rid of the map grid, and then I'll only have the square to judge my sizing when I bounce back over to this map. So that's how that works. Here I'm going to switch it up. Map, grab, blanket. Take this up to here. Grab all that action and put it up there. Okay, cool. So let's get back into this map. It's 5:21 now. I think I'm probably going to be done with this at 6. So you got the demon that's going to be trapped here. Here's your tar pit. Let's make a quick tar pit. Yeah, that feels good. Cool. Okay, so so the idea here is that this guy's captured. He's chained to the rock. He can summon or produce the spirits of hill giant warriors that have died under his hunt. My thought is that if there's some sort of telepathic control helm that he's wearing that's controlling his thoughts and his abilities, he's not going to be well, maybe he does billow in rage, but the thing is that the helm forces him to produce these spirit warriors, and the demon that has him imprisoned here is wearing the other helm, and so he has the control helm, and the demon prince, the demon giant has the victim helm. And so the jailer is commanding the prisoner to produce these undead soldiers that it is attempting to amass and learn how to control, and so that's why it's up in Devil's Skillet. They're amassing an army outside, and this tunnel system just leads to Devil's Skillet, which is here. And I'm just gonna build this out like that. I'm just gonna let that show through the black. That's pretty linear. So I can. I mean, it's not meant to be tricky. The tricky part is the skillet, right? This is just the boss fight, one of two boss fights. But if you're getting what we're doing here, if you come over this way first and free the demon giant, you can get him to create spirits for you, and you can use the helm, and you can put the helm on the wasp so that you can control her, and through her control her swarm. So yeah, that's the two things that we're trying to get here. We're going through the skillet, we're doing the wasp fight, and we're going to do the demon giant fight. So I don't want it to be difficult, but I don't want it to be a cakewalk either. I want it to be consumed content, you know? So they're describe the area. As volcano stuff. So I'm going to call that lava. Why not? Got all this good time stuff over here. Lava. We'll call this lava instead of tar. I don't know why they went with tar. Lava sounds like more fun, personally. That's looking pretty cool. So I'm on screen. I should probably just zoom in instead. No, we're gonna. Nice. That's all I need for a map. That's all I need. So that's enough. That's going to be enough of a challenge. That's going to cause them to bottleneck and have them to reconsider how they're going to organize their squads and what they actually want to do. So what I get to do with this then, let's come down here. Well, work out like I thought it would. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, so we can go here and save this as prison. There. Now we can come back to our roll 20 and we can command vehicles, playtest, prison. Wait for that to upload. There we go. So this square here needs to be the size of that square there. So that is the process that we are currently going through, is calibrating. And I can never see the outline square when it's in shadow. I just can't. My eyes, I don't see color, so I can't distinguish between the two outlines. That is just about going to go to advanced is drawing. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So we got that set. We can come back and drop that back into obscurement. Now that I don't need it to be anywhere, I can go back to the object interaction map. And if they happen to get the Hell Wasps first on their own, somehow, then storming this place will be easy because they can fly. Like how the hell are they going to get their truck? Okay, that's a great question. How are they going to get the trucks down the hole? That's not my problem. I don't care how they get them down the hole, but because again, these things are only. They only have 120 hit points, so it's not like they're the biggest threat in the world. And now I want to grab... Walking Ballista. So cool. Station 1 there. And another one there. Yeah, we'll station like that. It's got a clear shot this way, and it's got a clear shot this way. 50 feet, 100 feet, 50 feet, 100 feet, 150 feet. Like, this is within close range for them. So that's good. I'm pretty pleased with it. Pretty pleased with that. Oh, I can also drop another one over here. You won't see that until it's too late. Yeah, let's park it over here. Oh, and we can park another one over here. What is the move speed of these giants? Giant. Yes, I meant giant. Okay, fine, we'll go to roll 20. Storm Giant. Move speed 50, huh? Well, that's pretty convenient. 5e Hill Giant. Speed is 40 feet. Huge. That tracks. Oh, wow, only CR5. Let's go with Frost Giant. 5e. We'll call it 50 feet instead of 40. Screw you. Let's see. It's huge. CR8. That puts it in the 6, 7, 8. Puts us at the end of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. That's third rank. Great Axe. 3d12. That's tracking. Rock. 4d12. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that I'm comfortable with that. These will instead be beep beep. Swarm nests. Queen wasp. Frost giant prison. It's giants equal frost spirits. Third rank. 3x3 equals 90 HP each. 2 per squad equals 180. 3d10 damage per hit. That's gonna hurt. 1d4. So you can do 1d4 times 10. Oh no, there's 3x3 and there's 2 of them, so that'd be 6x6. 6x6, that'd be 6. They're using a D10, so that'd be a D6 times 10. That's the damage that they should be doing. Oh, I was wondering why was that so thin. What is the range on that snowballer anyway? Two 5. Wow, neat. Necro boulder. That's fun. Frost hate. Necro boulder. Let's see. Ballistas. 3, 15. 1d4 times 10. Ballista crew equals chain wretches. Lord of Chains equals jailer. Third rank. Demon. 1 by 1. Yeah, 1 by 1. 5 foot. DC, roughly DC 17. It's third rank. 8. Use its own damage, so I'm going to hype it up to doing 3 times 1d12 damage, chains, 15-foot reach. SD versus grapple equals restrained. Terror visage int save or fear plus. Yeah, that should be, honestly, that should be sass enough. So, let's see. They have third rank, 3x3, 90 hit points. I bet they're around 120 in 140. I wasn't too far off. Yeah, in command, the creatures tend, all the creatures generally have less hit points, but you can use a reaction to resist the damage, like universally any allies that you're using or individual creatures. Like there's a whole bunch of these frost giant specters that are on the battlefield, so I don't want to run them as individual boss creatures. They're minions. They're more like minions. So I'm using a reduced hit point total. That's not just one shot, one kill. At some point, it gets to that point. Like if you're third rank and you're fighting first rank creatures only have 10 hit points a pop, then they're going to end up being one shot, one kill. But these have reduced hit points, so it's just easier for you to hammer through them. You got 90 hit points each, one of them in a 3x3 square. But I can pile up to 10 of them inside of a single square. So if I want to throw like a full squad of them at the team, then it doesn't have to be 90 hit points. It can be 300 hit points. So I can have, but again, at the 50-foot scale, like at the 5-foot scale, a medium-sized creature, a small-sized creature, and a tiny-sized creature all look like they occupy a 5-foot square, but they're actually very different in size. When you pan out to the 50-foot scale, a 50-foot by 50-foot boll weevil, a 20-foot by 15-foot truck with another 15-foot by 10-foot truck next to it, or a single specter giant that's 15 feet by 15 feet, like a 3x3 huge size creature. All at the 50-foot scale, all three of those examples are almost identical to the examples of the medium-sized creature, the small-sized creature, and the tiny-sized creature appearing to occupy a single space. It's only when you actually zoom in to a smaller, to this breaching map scale, do you actually see what the actual, not that, thank you, yeah, these things. When you actually get down to this level, this is when you see how big things actually are. Like, 1, 2, yeah, like this is the size of like the frost giant specter compared to the 5 foot that of our Fey Paladin, and then Fey Barbarian here on a Tormentor 2x3 truck. Like this is your scale comparison. Like here's your Frost Giant, stumple, you know, that kind of thing. I'm being silly. Anyway, that's so yeah. The team goes into the skillet. If they don't like the horns, well, let's try going the other way. They can check this place out. If they can overtake this place, then they'll get the helm that they can use to take control of the Wasp Queen. Or if somehow they defeat the Wasp Queen first, they can come here with flying Hell Wasps and just trounce this area, and then gain control of the helm and save that helm for some other task, or keep it on this guy. But once you free this guy, he's like, if you freed me, I will live up to I will offer you my specters to help fight in the battle against Zerial. Tell you what, why don't I tag along? But he's going to be 4th rank, so he's higher ranked than you, so you don't want to use him yet. He's 4th rank, Zerial's 5th rank. Your character's only 9th level right now. You are going to want to wait until you're 13th level before you tap this guy. Otherwise, in the middle of the fight, you know what's going to happen. Zerial, give me my hammer! And he like runs off with all his troops and gets himself completely ass stomped again. And now you're down troops because he broke formation, because he is a higher rank than you and you cannot keep him in line. He knows better than you. You're a stupid mortal. Step aside. But if you free him, keep him in your debt. Do not activate him. but you can have him lend you some troops so that you got more people to go run around and stomp with you. So from this, you get trucks, you get frost giant specters, and potentially hell wasps with boar weevil, with whirly polies. I suspect I can keep the team amused for anywhere from 3 to 4 hours with that, which is what I'm expecting to do tomorrow. But that's between Devil's Skillet, the Wasp, and the Lava Prison. There you go. These are bridges that you have to cross, so it guarantees position placement. 1, 2, 3, and so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got another bridge here. You get shot. He gets over here, shot. Let's see. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting units right now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Chain Devil's third rank, which means it can control a space up to 6x6, with 36 minions on the battlefield. They don't all have to be here specifically. Just eyeballing it as a DM, I know you can have before, yeah, 36 minions before he has to worry about, or 36 spaces in a zone. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 here, and then back at the skillet, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, wait. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Yeah, he's only got 26. He could theoretically have another 10 squads running around if I needed to reinforce him. I can have him spawn more. But what I'm trying to use is right. I know that this I'm not like I can just eyeball this. No, yeah, this chain demon guy. He can control this many things because he's third rank. He can have up to 6x6 unit at any scale, 5 feet, 50 feet, don't matter. So it's easy to see how the amount of resources that I have between these two maps is something that could be underneath this guy's command. Like, there you go. He's one of Zariel's lieutenants. So kill this guy, take all that stuff away, and yeah, I think this will be fun. Interesting challenges. I don't mind them having these challenges. I think it's a lot of fun. If they can figure out a way to stay inside their truck, like they use like maybe they can use grappling claws to like scale their way down in these trucks, like slowly lowering the trucks down, or maybe they'll upcast a spell to levitate all the trucks. They could do that and they could levitate them down. It would be a second level spell slot. Plus a 4x4 truck would up it another 1, 2, 3, 4 spell slots. And then at the 50-foot scale, plus 5. So it would be, well, you wouldn't have to upscale it because you would only have to resolve the truck. So it would be 16 trucks that you're trying to resolve. So instead, you could pile a bunch of trucks into a single 50-foot square. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got 8 trucks. You could pile them all into 2 50-foot squares, and then only have 2 levitate spells that you would have to do. Second level spell, plus 5 for the 50-foot scale takes it to 7th level spells, and then it's 1 square. Yeah, so that would be 7 spell levels, and you can roll your d6. If you're a full caster, you'd have a d6. If you're a half caster, or a marshal, you have a D8 at this rank. But so assuming, like, say, a wizard, you use your second level spell slot, and then you have 5 levels. If you roll a 5 or a 6 on the command die, then you don't have to spend any additional spell slots. Anything that's less than 5, you have to make up with additional spell slots. So I roll a 3 and I've already spent 2. I need to spend another 2 spell slots for me to be able to upcast and cast Levitate on that one 50-foot squad. And then I've got another 50-foot squad that I have to cast it on. So if I put those 2 squads together, that'd be a total of 9. Or I can do them separately, 7 and 7. I can either risk the 2 spell slots, hoping that my command die will reduce it down to nothing, or I can have a 2x2 inside of 50-foot at 50-foot squares, so 100-foot by 100-foot. Second level spell slots, 5th level for 50th level, plus 2 because it's 2 squares. That puts it at 9, so it'd be 9 spell level total that you would have to upcast, or 9 spell slots worth of magic. So you roll the 2, you take the 2 automatically for the Levitate, you roll your d6. If you roll a 1, then you've had 3 spell slots paid for so far, then you have to spend a total of 6 more. It could either be, at 9th level, you only have 5th level spell slots, so it could be like 2 more, it could be like 2 3rd level spell slots, or a 2nd and a 4th, a 5th and a 1st. You're already casting 2 2nd level spell slots, so it'd be like if you did a 3rd and a 4th spell slot at that point, it would be 7, but you only needed 6, right? So that extra spell slot off of that 4th level, that extra spell off of the spell slot, your DM could let you refund it back into a 1st level spell slot, which is what I would do. But rules as written in the document is it just burns a slot. I recommend using spell points. So you can just use 9 spell points minus however much you roll on your die roll. It's super easy. Barely an inconvenience. So I recommend doing that. But hey, we've hit 6 o'clock. This is the time that I had. We now have 3 solid, I feel, solid combat scenarios here. And we also have truck shop stuff. So truck shop is when you start working with Mad Maggie at Knuckle Fort, and you're taking your trucks in, and now you're picking up siege machines. If you go through here and you don't destroy all of these things, you can go up and you can kill the crew instead of the catapults and the ballista and stuff. So you could, once you get the wasp, you can get the bull weevils to come over, and you can load up your siege machines onto the back of the roly-polies, and then take that all back to Knuckle Fort. And then you have a bunch of resources, so you can build different. I mean, you're still stuck with a 50-foot frame with the gargantuan size devil grinder frame, but it's a 3x4 truck, so you can fit a ballista or a Mangolin on the back of those things, because they're only 2x2. So you have enough space for the siege weapon as well as additional ammo cache, so that you don't. So you can keep driving the thing while you can fire it while you're driving, is what I'm trying to say. So you don't have to stop, so that there's enough space for your crew to load and do all the things. If you have enough space on your truck for your crew to work and have your ammo, then you're good to go. So we've got the 3 encounters. I mean, they're kind of like mini adventures. So yeah, you get the 3 mini dungeons plus truck shop. And then, so I think that's going to easily eat up our 4 hours, and then from there we'll have session feedback, and then we'll do it again next week. If we didn't get to all 3 of these challenges this week, we certainly can, and then I'll have new scenarios built out next week as well. And next week will be our last. So we'll do 9th level this week and next week. We'll do 12th level, I think, 2 weeks from now. Let's see. Yeah, this week and next. We'll do 12th level on the 19th, and that's when we're converting Spelljammer. So we'll be able to look at Zariel's Flying Fortress as an actual flying fortress. And with the Hell's Wasps, you guys are starting to pick up flying troops of your own. But at 12th level, Bell is going to recruit you to to get the Jalopy carry the Jalopy fortress back up and running, so that you can punch Zariel in the face with the same kind of truck that she's driving, so that you can have even odds with her. But so that'll be the 19th, and then the 26th. We'll actually have the 26th. We should have the actual confrontation with Zariel, Scab. Oof. Actually, yeah, 19th and 26th may instead be getting the fortress with Bell, as well as freeing the Pittons of the 5 pylon, the 8 pylons that are pinning Elturel above the River Styx. You got to break those chains free for it to ascend back through the Hellmouth back to Toril. So that'll be the 19th and 26th, and then the 2nd should be the final battle of again holding Zariel off, getting the key from the Scab so that you can unlock the companion, so that it can open up the arcane, the planar gate to pull Elturel back through, shut it down, and then turn off the lights, and we'll be done. So there you go. That's what we're looking at. And on the 19th, 2 weeks from now, was the 16th, Tuesday the 16th is when Spelljammer drops. So that means on Thursday night, on the 18th Thursday night, that is going to be Spelljammer translation. I'll have had 2 days to sit with it and translate it. I suspect it's going to be really easy to convert it into In Command. I'm just going to have to see the rules. I'm looking forward to it. So, all right, we're done. That's our session. We're going to knock this out. We're not doing it on camera. Maybe it's just I don't think playtesting is the sort of thing that you should be performing. I think it should be more focused on what are you doing, how you're working through things. I guess once things are finalized and we start going through stuff, maybe I can recruit some people that are willing to do a public-facing game that we can put up as a proof of concept for folks to play with. Yeah. Okay, I just went through my mental checklist. We're all good. So I'm going to cut the stream here. I might be on tomorrow afternoon doing some Eberron artwork. I'll definitely be on doing Eberron artwork on Monday, though, for certain, as well as Martial Powers lunchtime. That'll happen. So Monday's going to be fun and busy. Yeah, I'm done. Catch you later. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Check out my books. They're all 100% read and play before you buy. And of course, please pick some up. Follow me on Twitter. Share. And drop a like and say hey. Shout out at me in comments or catch me on Twitter. Or if you know where I hang out on Discord, be welcome to catch me there. So I don't have my own Discord channel. I don't have the bandwidth to monitor a channel on top of doing all this stuff. I've got plenty of Discords where I hang out and post stuff. So if you find me on Discord, say hey. This is Phil Kearney. I'll see you when I get to. Cheers.